-1. We're live.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Star Wars EU Wayback Machine. And I totally wrong. And I've had discussions with everyone on this platform about this for eons, and we'll continue to have these discussions. But here we are with episode 29, almost episode 30 of this podcast, which is actually kind of crazy to think about. But we're discussing Marvel issues 50 to 55 today. So, how's everyone doing?
We're doing great. We ordered a bunch of books for the Twin Suns events this year. Almost 1,000 books, I think. We actually got them out of stock. We ordered so many titles, so we're gonna do some events later on. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to discussing some comics.
As always, this is not Star Wars related, but it is comics related. I am. Oh, jeez, I keep doing this. I am working on reviews for all 52 issues of the new 52. This is a slightly torture, but that's okay. That's all right. I am taking a break from said torture to join you, lovely people, and I am very much happy to do so. Anything to get me away from the fury of Firestorm.
It's the lesser of the two evils, the lesser torture for him.
Luckily, this is not torture at all, unless of course we're discussing, say, for instance,
the newspaper strips,
or maybe even perhaps holiday special. There's a few things. Probably the Droids and Ewoks comics. And
there'll be more. Don't forget in the future of Ruins of Dantooine, or the Clone Wars book by Karen Miller.
Oh my god! I read that. I just read that for the first time a few months ago. It's.
Did you Gambit? Did you love them? Were they everything you hoped for?
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, I read the one with Obi-Wan and Bail Organa, and I liked all that. I liked all the stuff with those two. But then every time Anakin showed up, I was like, just get rid of this. Just stop the book. But anyway, that's an aside.
That's a future problem.
I'm also expecting some books to arrive, hopefully soon. The Hellboy in Hell Library Edition among them, and also some 90s Image stuff that I have an inexplicable attachment to.
Sounds fun. All right, so the first issue we're going to cover today is the Crimson Forever. This is a giant-sized issue. It really has 3 chapters. We're dealing with the Crimson Forever, which are caused by the Great Life Jewels, which when separated produce a negative aura, which cause an exotic ailment, which induces coma in the victims. Find out Luke actually comes up with it after he contracts it. Looking at a Star Destroyer, his X-Wing flight comes upon a Star Destroyer that's in the sector near the New Rebel base, and he finds out it's abandoned. He doesn't get any life readings from the ship, and he lands on the ship, finds out all the Imperial crew are dead. Their skin is tinted red. That's a product of the virus. And they find this great life jewel. One of them is in the canister in the Star Destroyer. We found out later that this jewel comes from a part of the galaxy that's outside the known actual galaxy. And it's a plot by Domina Tag to get back at both the Empire and the Rebellion, because we saw her a couple issues ago, and she has a revenge plot because her brother was killed by Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So,
yes,
have bounty hunters show up. What's up, Brennan?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Brennan.
Go ahead, Robert.
Brennan. So this is the final issue in Archie Goodwin's run.
That's right.
To end on a nice even 50, not counting the Return of the Jedi miniseries, which is later. Then he wrote that. But well, the less about that, the better.
David Michelini is going to take over after issue 50. So this is the last we get from Goodwin and Williamson.
Everyone, hide your babies. Hide your aqua babies. He will kill them. He'll kill them.
Yeah.
Don't let him near him.
I get that joke.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, we can. But so
we
this is these are some big names for this issue. We've got Al Williamson and Walt Simonson.
Yes. No,
Very nice.
they went out. This issue looks very nice.
Along with Tom Palmer, probably the best inker we've had so far.
I wonder if it's because it transitions and it's split up between 3 chapters. Maybe Walt Simonson does some work on one of the chapters. Maybe that's why there's so many names on there.
I think
Possibly.
so.
That's how the annual worked.
Okay. Yeah, I liked the first chapter and the third chapter. The second chapter was sort of a backstory, a flashback. Didn't care for it too much.
That was an excuse to, have Han appear in the story during a time when, obviously he's frozen in carbonite. But yeah, I quite like this opening page.
So we got Lando, Chewbacca, and the Falcon. They get ambushed by some TIE fighters from a new Imperial base that's in the area. Lando's not aware of it. We saw Lando before in one issue, but he appears to be headed to Tatooine to rescue Han from Jabba. That's what he mentions, at least in passing in here. But Leia sweeps in a Corellian Corvette, Rebel blockade runner, saves Lando from all the TIE fighters, destroys a bunch of them. But she mentions she has bad news. Luke is sick, and she has to go call off Lando from his mission to find Han, and brings him back to the Rebel base. So Golrath is the new Rebel base there. It's a volcanic planet. Pretty cool. Yes. But they find out Luke's in a coma, and they need to figure out why he's like that. They found out his flight basically died when he came upon that Star Destroyer that I mentioned earlier. Luke's the only survivor from that, but they don't know how to cure him. The medical droids are kind of confused on how to treat him. But Leia mentions that there is a canister that was found on the Star Destroyer, and Luke seemed to think that could have been significant. So they at least have a clue of what's causing the virus, and they asked Chewie. I guess Chewbacca has a backstory about the jewels in the canister, which lead us to the second chapter.
Yes,
that he and Han on a mission before Han was frozen in carbonite, that they actually went after those jewels, and
somewhat against their will.
He at least knows about them and knows their power.
This is a very nice looking issue.
The art gets so much better moving forward.
Yes. Al, I am not familiar enough with Al Williamson and Walt Simonson to say definitively which one this is. Would you know?
That to me looks like Al Williamson. Walt Simonson is it tends to be a lot more like scratchy, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Also, he did what's it called? The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So that's the same.
Al Williamson, I think he also is, he's also doing classic Star Wars at the point that we're currently at.
I believe that is correct.
And yeah, again, the way he draws the characters and the subtle details in their facial expressions and their body language, it's really good. I think this is one of the best Chewbacca's we've had so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Lando looks a little bit too old and wrinkly, but I do like the shadows.
There he looks better.
That's a much better Lando right there.
Yeah,
that's still not quite Carrie Fisher.
Will screw you up.
It's getting closer.
I like the sad expression on Leia's face as he's as she is telling them that that they need to abandon the search for Han, and obviously something's also happened to Luke, so that's also a factor.
Wow, her two options down the tubes.
Right. It was kind of weird to me. We've only seen Lando so far in 2 issues, the Cody Sunchild and this one,
Yeah.
but standalone adventures. And in the Cody Sunchild episode, they go through a rift in space, like a wormhole in a different dimension or whatever, Cody Sunchild's dimension. And then in this one, they leave the galaxy proper, like the known galaxy. So it's like the first 2 issues, like, man, he's on his way to Tatooine, but he gets sidetracked to all these weird places. I just found that interesting.
Lando does get a lot of weird adventures. He's, that's
Kind of like his
It's,
thing. We're going by
yes.
his novels that'll come out later.
exactly. I love the names of his novels. Lando Calrissian and the Flame Wind of Ossian.
And the
Mind Harp of Sharu.
Yes.
And then I forget what the third one's called at the moment, but Space Whales or something, where they first got introduced. Space something.
So, given this is a milestone issue,
yeah, it's 50 issues.
How do we feel about this as being like a celebratory issue? Because they bring back Han for a little bit. It doesn't. To me, this is
this sets the stage for like the post Empire Strikes Back comic. I know we had a couple before. I did like the Cody Sunchild arc, but here is like really the search for Han Solo. It isn't consistent. Like it sort of picks back up around issue 67, like when they go to Mandalore. They're like, oh yeah, we should be looking for Han, shouldn't we? And they come up with all of these explanations of how they get sidetracked, the different reasons why. They at one point, I think they say, oh yeah, we've been to Tatooine, but Boba Fett hasn't brought him there yet. They're sitting there waiting for
got there too early. They got
where's he then?
You couple this with certain issues like the Last Gift from Alderaan, where Leia's going to be stranded on a planet for a long time, to the point where she actually learns the native language before she's rescued by the Rebel Alliance. Like, a lot of time has passed. I know we have a 3-year gap between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, but there's only technically there's only a 1-year gap between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Is it? I thought it was 6 months.
Oh, is it 6 months? It may be less than a year.
I thought it was less. So it makes it so insane that so much happens.
I know it mentions it specifically in Atlas, because the Essential Atlas places the exact date where Return of the Jedi takes place.
They were stuck on Yavin for 6 months after A New Hope.
That is true. Maybe that's what you're thinking of, Alex. But
Maybe.
you also couple this with things that we get later, like Shadows of the Empire. It's very hard to mesh this all together. It's like, are they going after Han or are they not? Because there's all of these twists and turns, and you can't really get an exact time or flow of their adventures, like one after the other. They're going all different directions, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense for me. Especially the Last Gift from Alderaan, which we are going to cover later on. It's almost like they shouldn't have placed that after Empire Strikes Back. Like, they have to because Lando's in it, but I almost wish it was before Empire Strikes Back instead. I think it would make a lot more sense, especially
there are stories after this that feel like, oh well, these are stories we had already thought of before episode 5 came out, but episode 5 came out, so we can't use Han moving forward. So we'll just throw Lando into it, and it just doesn't. Some of those stories don't really work as well because of it.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't necessarily think it's a matter of needing either Han or Lando, because they have a lot of good ideas for stories. Like, sure, Brie, they bring back Domina Tag in this specific issue.
Yes.
We
to
get the
sort of
bounty. We get the bounty
close out
hunters.
the,
IG-80.
Yes.
to finish off the House of Tag stuff.
Right. Right.
All that
And then
stuff's great.
she comes
but-
back later at the very end of the issue, or the very end of the series, rather, in 108, which kind of puts us all in a neat little bow. But
Yeah, but 108 is sort of, it's not, I don't want to say it's its own thing, but it was done much later after
Darker
this.
80s.
Yeah, that's true. But to get to Al's point of like, what do we think with this? Did this giant, 3-part issue meet its standard, or what it was meant to do? I think so. Like, I think this is one of the more memorable ones.
I would agree.
What were you going to say, Al?
I was just gonna say I think that this. Well, I was gonna make a similar point to Scott, that this is a turning point, and that this is where I would divide the era. This is where I think the Star Wars comics start getting like pretty good, like pretty decent. Is like here.
I think I'd agree. I think most of the after Empire Strikes Back era of these comics, if I don't love, I enjoy. And same goes for, of course, the stories set after Return of the Jedi. I don't think there's a single one that I don't at least like.
Right.
Whereas we've gone through all this stuff after episode 4, and we did not love all of it, as you all saw when we went through it. So I think there's definitely something to that with this issue moving forward.
I like a little bit of retrospection for my milestone issues. That was what I was gonna go with. Was I like a little bit of retrospection, but I think here that's subverted very nicely, because we don't need any more goddamn retrospection in this series. We've already been like, hey, remember episode 4? You remember New Hope? You remember that? It's nice to see clean break. Let's go forward.
There's no retrospective in the 50th issue. It's changing the status quo, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's for the best here. If this had been like a really forward thinking series, like if this was, say, like Knights of the Old Republic, I would say that, oh well, we can have a little bit of time to like sit with the characters and be like, oh man, look how far we've come. But with this, it's like, we got to move. We got to go do something else. We have to move on. So I like that.
Right. No more filler issues. This is almost essential reading.
Yes.
Right. We establish Golrath. There's another issue that comes later on. Golrath never forgets. So there is some continuity, like, going forward. We had things like the Wheel and Valence and some like notable characters, but when we start getting Shira Bree and some of these, it really starts getting momentum and getting essential reads, right? That you want to read this as just being an expanded universe fan and knowing where these characters' origins are.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Especially Lamaya.
On that
things there.
On that note, sort of kind of being retrospective ourselves, how would we grade like the accuracy of the characters to the movies in this, like the portrayals of them here so far in this series? Because I know that is a little bit of a controversial subject when it comes to the Marvel comics.
I would say, other than some hiccups with the romance,
yes,
which is not anybody's fault but George, really. I would say at worst they feel like caricatures of themselves, but I never feel like, except for occasional words of dialogue or weird choices made, generally I feel like these people feel like their movie counterparts, if a little too exaggerated.
Which is to be expected given this particular era of comics.
Yeah. Scott, do you have any thoughts on?
You kind of have to separate it. If you're talking about the Marvel 1977 by itself, I think it's hit or miss. Some issues they seem more like themselves, sometimes not. I think for the most part, like they'll get the droids really good. They get C-3PO good. Luke, they get the archetype good, but it's hard to say because like the pre-Empire Strikes Back issues, they don't know how he's going to be in Empire Strikes Back, so it's hard to foreshadow that. Some of them tend to go really well, especially you can almost tell like when they know the script from Empire Strikes Back because he starts acting like he does in the upcoming movie and you can tie it off better. But I don't know, it's kind of 50-50 for me.
Oh, that's fair. I would agree. Go for
I can't see if Brennan's still here. My photoreceptors aren't plugged in. If he is, does he have anything to add?
I don't think Brendan's here anymore.
Right.
Busy man these days. He's
He's very busy. So
getting educated. Getting educated,
spending time with friends that are better than us, apparently. Yeah, that's right, Brendan.
That I believe.
That's probably. He's also the co-president of Lucasfilm now.
That's right. So busy guy. He's got to make sure that the new movie with the Grogu goes well. So
I don't want to see that.
Jeremy Allen White from The Bear being like, I can't do this. I'm Jabba's son. I'm in the kitchen. Actually, you know what? Sorry, real quick. You know that one issue from the Star Wars 90s run that became Republic, where the two Jedi Masters, I think it was Plo Koon and another one, and they start cooking? Or is that from Tales? I don't remember.
That's from Tales. That's not, that's Tales.
Yeah, that's from Tales. All right, so actually, we're going to make the EU canon. And this whole time, it's been a whole ploy by Filoni, who actually secretly loves the EU. And it's going to be with Jabba the Hutt's son. And it's going to all come around to this cooking episode in the movie. And it's just going to bring everything full circle. And that's my prediction to you.
That's true.
And if I'm right...
when we eventually get to Tales, we've got to say, when we finish a story, whether we think it's canon or not.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of not for me, dog. Anyway, I
look forward to the Tales one. I want to see Al crash out.
God,
it'll be a long time coming from now, but I look forward to.
Oh my God! Just think about it. To answer my own question very quickly, Alex, I'd agree with you. I think I really am a little bit bothered about the romance being like such a big part of Leia's. I mean, I guess it's not. No, I'm sticking to it. They bring that up a lot. They bring up the making out with Luke a lot, and I'm not crazy about that here.
She makes out with both of them many times, as we saw about these issues.
Well, I just think they've kind of reduced her character a little bit down to like the love interest thing.
I can.
That really is Marvel Leia to a T. It's like she's kind of just they haven't. She doesn't have as much depth as I'm looking for with Leia.
Yeah. Even A New Hope provides her, which came out before any of those comics, provided her some nuance and saying, "Oh, she's more than just a damsel in distress." When they're escaping the Death Star before they fall into the garbage chute, what's she doing? She's picking up a gun. She's shooting at the enemies. You know, she's saving their butt. She's watching their back. You know, 100%. Even there, she has a little bit of a mouth. You know, she talks back. You know, she's not a little wimpy girl. You know. And so
I do think there's a little
that gone in these comics.
There's some of that. There is some of it because you see like her on the diplomatic mission with Vader. We just covered that issue.
No, yeah.
So we do get a little bit
there, but it's not as prevalent.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like it.
And it's just more pronounced because Luke ends up being her brother, and it's just gross. But yeah, I think Leia is the one that I'm the least happy with in those terms. Luke really is more of just an archetype than he is a character.
Listen, in Tolkien's books, in George R. Martin's books, incest is left and right. So you know,
I don't. That's those are different. Those are
Jamie
different.
Lannister and Cersei.
But yeah, I would say doing a little bit of a review of the last 50 issues of at least in terms of like character consistency. I would say I would give it like a B-. I think.
I think it's fair.
I think Vader's dialogue tends to not be quite right.
Vader does hold them back. Luckily, they don't use
It's hard
him
to
too
write
often.
good Vader dialogue
It's very hard. And
without making it sound cringe too.
yeah,
Well,
Yes.
like I'll even give it to Disney. Like I don't know how, but I watched a portion of a Let's Play of the Jedi Fallen Order. And I think one thing Disney has, I'll give to, I don't think they've ever failed to give proper respect to Vader. I think they do that very well because everybody loves Vader. But I remember there's a particular point in that game. There's like Inquisitors throughout that game. Doesn't matter. But you have the voice. He shows up, super scary, and he goes, "You have failed me, Inquisitor." I was like, "Oh, okay, it is Vader. I'll take that." But a lot of times when it's in these comics and we've been reading through it, I'm trying to hear James Earl Jones say these lines, and I just can't. It just doesn't.
Right.
It does not compute. So
The more materials out there, the more you could write the characters as they actually are. It's harder to do early on, but it's hard to blame them from what they had back in 1977.
that's true. That's true.
yeah. Also, writing was just different back then. I mean, think about what. As
different
Al's
expectations.
comic guy, how many times did a villain in a comic say something really corny and silly,
I mean, that's
as compared to like what Lex Luthor would say in like the 90s or early 2000s? You know,
to be fair, like the whole love interest thing, that's a Marvel staple, like a love triangle going on here. I don't know how much I should. I need to be aware of the times. So to be fair, of the context that we're reading these in, it's just for my money, and this was my problem when I read these originally. Is it's reading it now, I'm not getting as much out of it as I might have in 1980, whatever, 1982, one, right?
think so.
Yeah, 1981, I think.
Yeah. So Luke has a fever dream. They try to get Chewbacca to recollect the story about the jewel from the Red Nebula that
Yes, because
he went on an adventure on. He's embarrassed to tell the story because there's a monster in the Red Nebula that kind of treated Chewbacca as his cub, as his baby.
her. Yeah. And Leia heard this story from Han at one point, and that's how she knows, and that's why she went, okay, I recognize this from Han's description. We need to get Chewbacca, and he needs to tell us what happened.
Yeah.
And, yes, and he reluctantly does. But brief tangent. On the subject of Vader, there was a series of streams that Sam Witwer did with the guy who voiced Proxy, whose name escapes me, where they play through The Force Unleashed and talk about it. And apparently, at one point when they were making the game, there was a whole debate about whether or not Vader uses contractions. And in the end, they decided, okay, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
Just do what feels right.
Ask James Earl Jones, I guess. You can't now, but you could at the time of that interview, I guess.
I like seeing Obi-Wan and Yoda here.
Yes, it's good.
Yoda doesn't. Yoda only has this one panel, but still nice to have.
Yoda's still alive, so he shouldn't be dead. But well, I guess it's just a dream.
It's just a vision, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just showing the two people who trained him. That was mostly Yoda. I mean, Obi-Wan taught him the very basics.
Yeah, I didn't care for for Chewbacca being not willing to tell the story. Like, why is he embarrassed? Like, I felt we've had a similar story like that before, where Chewbacca befriends the monster or the alien there I don't understand why he's embarrassed like that, but
Sometimes the big guy gets embarrassed.
yeah.
It's just all an excuse so we can have Han back, guys.
Exactly.
Ooh, so
Yeah. So
How do we feel about the way Han is written in this series?
in this particular issue, you mean in general?
In this run, for the first 50 issues, or at least the ones that he's in.
I think it's fine. I don't think they do anything egregious to his character that I'm like, oh, that's so not Han. But I also don't feel most of the time that there's anything in these issues to go, that's so Han.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like I could see him doing it, but I don't also like go like, oh yeah, that's Harrison Ford doing all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess. Or it's like I know like me now. I think everyone here vastly prefers AC Crispin's books. I definitely tried to defend Brian Daly's a bit more just because I was like, context of the time that came out.
Sure.
But I'd say all three of those books consistently do Han Solo better than any of these comics have done. I think that's a fair assessment to make. So
Yeah, I would not argue with that at all.
Alex, this planet being called Terminus, that makes me think of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, man, we gotta talk about Mass Effect sometime. Love Mass Effect.
Stay on
I
target.
need to-
Stay on
They are
target.
target. Mass Effect being like Star Wars, Star Trek, everything I love combined into one. But I get to
Got
play
it.
it.
We've got all these different ships here with
They're pretty cool.
I don't know
ships.
what's going on with this one, with the dragging
No,
all
I
the
don't know what's going on with that
dragging
one.
all these
It's kinda
behind.
funky. Also, I'm a terrible person, but like, what's up with the caterpillar? Like, what is that? The balls are all connected.
it's a cargo ship, okay? It's a cargo ship.
Okay.
Its cargo
Not like
may
any
be
sort of
balls,
beans,
but it's
maybe.
still a cargo ship.
Yeah, there's some joke going on with the life jewels at the Red Nebula. I don't quite know.
Oh yeah,
There's a
the
lot
light
of balls
beams, the
in this
nebula.
story. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of
And
Didn't we have a butthole monster early on in this series?
yes, we did. We don't need to revisit all this.
Maybe there's correlations there.
Yeah, the second chapter is pretty forgettable. So Han with a crew of smugglers,
Yeah,
they're
on
going.
They're on this planet. They get press ganged. Essentially, they get stunned and kidnapped, taken aboard this ship, and told you're all you and the other prisoners. You're all coming with us. You're helping us get these jewels located in the Red Nebula, or else.
Right. And it's outside the galaxy, so it's a tremendous risk. They go to this temple, and he says, like, the life jewels are mine. You can take whatever other treasure you find is yours. But the guy that captured him wants the life jewels. And they're in this temple, and there's this vicious guardian monster, which treats Chewie as her child.
Yes.
And that's how they end up like taking the jewels and getting back and getting their freedom, really.
Very much feels like a early Marvel Star Wars story,
I like this droid here.
but the art's better.
Yes.
Why does it kind of look like a Mandalorian helmet stuck in a little tiny like
it's a Mandalorian droid, that's why.
I like
yeah.
that would go really well with the protocol droid from Droids.
I like how grumpy the droid is.
I can see that.
Yeah, this is just kind of like a standard Han and Chewie
Doing something.
Yeah.
I'm not a Star Trek fan, but that looks very Enterprise-ish to me.
I can see the correlation made there. That may even be deliberate on these artists' part. I could definitely see why you'd say that. So,
yeah,
I love the bald guy with the big giant ears. That's the funniest thing I've seen in.
That's
in
a Star Trek character. That's the most Star Trek character I've ever seen in my life.
So he promises that if they can successfully get the jewels, he promises a reward unparalleled. He doesn't specify what this means precisely, but as we later find out, it's not good.
He's like,
Right.
you know those cats with no hair? He's like Jackal from Spider-Man if you just didn't have fur.
So he's gross.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Klisk
So-
is his name.
Yes.
K-L-Y-S-K.
Klisk.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So
It's a
Han
horrible
has
name.
to
His mother
Han
did
has to
him dirty.
pilot them through a meteor
Loch
shower.
Ness Monster back there? The one in the middle panel with the Han? Not the Loch Ness Monster, the freaking creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm sorry. Or Hellboy's friend.
Abe Sapien,
Sapien.
thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ape
well,
Sapien.
And they agree. Okay, fine. We'll unshackle you, but don't try anything.
Right. We see some of Han's piloting skills there because there's this
Yes.
asteroid field to get out of the galaxy to the Red Nebula. So he shows off
Which-
He's
there.
lucky those are really
Another-
asteroids and not Vong ships.
Which
Well,
We
we're
get
told-
to see some Yuuzhan Vong stuff in the Planet of the Hoojibs if we get to it tonight.
Ancestral legend has it that this nebula was once an arm of your galaxy until cosmic upheaval sundered it. Now it drifts further and further into the void, only this star and this planet surviving against all odds.
Imagine
That
having like a really high pitched voice. Surviving against all odds.
that doesn't really make any sense.
Not.
No, that's a yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. So we can move forward a little bit
It
here.
is Chewbacca telling the tale. So
Yeah, it's a recounting, and we've seen this kind of story from Han a million times, but like one of his crew gets one of the jewels, but they ended up separating it, so we see its power whenever they get separated. The guy like turns red and dies, basically falls into a coma.
They meet this priest who goes, "Yeah, no, you really don't want to let these jewels leave this place. Those guys who want them, they are not good people."
Yeah.
In fact,
So-
they're a death cult.
Yeah, the jewels have some ramifications of how the Red Nebula left the galaxy. There's some explanation to that. It's not really that important, but we see the Guardian there, that blue ape-looking thing. It's like King Kong, kind of.
yes.
And yeah, this is a funny panel, but it's also a bit sad because apparently she's the last of her species.
That is a bit sad.
And then Chewbacca's embarrassed. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you could have just been smashed into a ball or eaten or something, but you know he's
Yeah.
embarrassed for everything. That's the least of his worries from my perspective.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly.
So Han gives them a bag containing what are supposedly the two jewels.
Mm-hmm.
Then they leave and fly straight into the sun. Because, and this is foreshadowed earlier a bit with when Klisk tells Han about the Red Nebula, and Han says, "Yeah, well, life's funny like that, Klisk." And he says, "Wrong, Solo. Life is grim obligation, striving unrelentingly to fulfill our destiny."
Right. They needed Han to actually get him there in the first place, so it's not a big surprise that when they don't have Han leaving, that they would crash or fly into a sun.
Oh, that was very deliberate on their part. They wanted to die. They are I don't know if the word nihilist would be apt in this situation, but
Suicidal?
yeah,
Which
they. How does the priest explain it?
I forget. There's some sort of weird belief that they have, and they think the jewels have some like significance.
It's the
But
funniest
it's kind
character.
it's kind of weird.
It's, I
Like,
can't.
what is the Star Trek guy doing in this comic?
Literally, he's just really huge.
The end is upon us. Klisk's group has at last accomplished the very thing we exiled them to prevent. They fanatically believed it was our fate to perish when the Red Nebula was sundered from the rest of the galaxy so long ago. Just as we came to believe the presence of the twin gems protected us from the cataclysm, Klisk and his kind regarded them as blasphemous abominations to be destroyed, so our race would no longer live in defiance of cosmic destiny. So, yeah, they wanted to destroy the gems and themselves with them.
Okay.
But they didn't have the gems. Han did.
No.
So,
and the priest goes, "Oh no, one of the gems has been separated, but don't worry, I can fix it." And he does.
They give Han a ship, which they have a perfectly working ship to get out of there. But I think the explanation, we don't know this at this time, but Domina Tag finds out about the Red Nebula and the jewels actually existing.
Okay.
So,
Al, would this be Walt Simonson here?
Maybe. I'd have to see more.
Yeah, so we get a flashback. Remember, Han was frozen in carbonite. We see.
Yeah.
I'd say yeah. If I had to guess. So this is, but we're back in the present day, back in the current time. That little excursion with Han and Chewie. Get Han back in the book, of course. But,
Stab him there.
Hey, you know, I would want him back too if I was so.
Yeah. So they go to the Red Nebula after Chewbacca recounts the tale. They find a House of Tag, a mining ship out there, and Domina Tag takes them captive, and she hires all the bounty hunters we see in Empire Strikes Back. So we got Bosk, Dengar, IG-88, Zuckuss there.
Everyone except Boba Fett.
Right, because Boba Fett obviously has Han. He's on his way to Jabba on Tatooine. Supposedly.
It is very blatantly an Empire Strikes Back reminder, but I do still like this page and us getting to see that Chewbacca really wants to rescue his friend. That is his priority right now. That's what he's thinking about.
And that's very consistent for him. And kind of mirrors same thing with in the Brian Daly books when Han freaks out about Chewie and he didn't save him. So
yeah. So they have the other jewel aboard this House of Tag ship. So one of the jewels is on the Star Destroyer. The other jewel is on the House of Tag ship. Everybody's dead. And then the bounty hunter, IG-88's allowed to roam free because he's not going to get the Crimson Forever. But Domina Tag and everybody else are locked in this one section of the ship. Leia and Lando have to get space suits to kind of walk through. Domina Tag explains like what she's up to, how her revenge against Luke Skywalker. She placed the Star Destroyer to go to the sector where the rebels are, the rebel base. She has spies that apparently know where the rebel base is, and she knew Luke was going to happen upon that specific ship. That's how she set this up. And
after considerable persuasion, the priest was forced to share his knowledge of the gem's deadly powers. So that's an implication of torture there.
Yeah, it's a little bit tortury.
I didn't think to bring this up when we were covering the Han Solo books, but I do think it's interesting that and I can't take credit for this. This is something Joe pointed out. The fact that the Marvel series and Archie Goodwin and Brian Daly were at roughly the same time both exploring the corporate side of things and the way that sort of ties in with the imperial powers that be, and with the House of Tag and the corporate sector alliance both in their own way in bed with the Empire, so to speak.
Right. The House of Tag doesn't really like Darth Vader.
I think with the corporate sector alliance, the corporate sector authority, the comparison I made at the time was the British Empire and the East India Company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I think that's accurate. Yeah. So we have Domina Tag. She explains her little plan. She was going to have IG-88 reunite the jewels because he's a droid and he won't succumb to the virus. And we're told that she eventually lets Luke Lando, and is Luke with him? I forget. Luke's got the virus, so Lando and Leia go back to the other ship to get the other jewel, because they kind of figure out, they need the jewels to be reunited to cure Luke of the disease.
Yeah, she was hoping to use one of them to kill Darth Vader, the other to kill Luke, and that way she'd have her revenge on everyone she saw as responsible for the death of her brother.
Mm-hmm.
She's a fun character.
It went wrong, and now they're in this situation.
I love
he gets
the
a dialogue from Dengar there.
And Lando goes,
Lando's
what's this? I've got a rip in my suit. And now, Dengar, you've got the Crimson forever. And he's bluffing, of course, and
yeah. So they basically let him go to go get the other jewel aboard the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, because Domina Tag goes, okay, well, I don't want to die, so fine. Yeah. You can have both the gems and you can cure the disease.
Yeah, so she's pretty much trapped there. IG-88 reunites the jewels. I guess some people don't survive because they've had the virus for too long or whatever, like that Imperial is not going to recover. But Luke is able to recover, which is the important thing.
Yeah, it's implied that Luke has survived as long as he has because of his force sensitivity and Jedi training, which, that's something that we see quite a few times in, just off the top of my head, the beginning of the Force, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the prologue where you're in the back to tank and you're the only one that survived being poisoned because okay, so yeah, what do we think of this issue?
I like it. We just kind of mentioned real quickly the ending where Leia tells the bounty hunters that Domina Tag has a bounty on her from the Empire. So supposedly they take her into custody. So that should be the end of her. But I think we see her later on, a couple issues later. But
much
she's a resourceful lady. I'm sure she can get her way out of it.
Yeah, they have a little laugh at the end. I thought it was good. I like seeing the bounty hunters.
Yeah, it was cool.
I don't
do something for once.
I think the disease is a little silly. The life jewels,
very Marvel Star Wars,
especially when you had the Bledsoe's disease, like Luke's eyes turn red, just like the
Bledsoe's disease made almost no sense.
Yeah. I think they could have told the story a little differently. I didn't really like the middle part with Han Solo either, but it was okay.
For sort of a changing of the guard issue, it was all right. It was decent.
Yeah,
I agree. Definitely doesn't feel though like a 50th anniversary, 50th issue. You think?
No.
But we say goodbye to Archie Goodwin and say hello to David Michelinie.
Yeah.
And
So there's a new super weapon in town.
Oh,
yes, there is.
joy.
Any thoughts on this cover? Not a particularly remarkable one.
That's neat enough, I guess.
It's neat, yeah, for sure.
But we get Walt Simonson back. That's nice.
It is.
Yep,
We'll
David
be seeing plenty
McCliney
more of him.
takes over.
I like this opening. The war drags on. Each day, Emperor Palpatine draws his blood-stained hand ever tighter around the throat of a once-free galaxy.
I like that the mention of Emperor Palpatine,
Yes.
which would have been a thing from the novelization at this point.
Yes.
Right. We also see him in Empire Strikes Back in that hologram.
But like the name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. So we have General Riken here. They receive word from a rebel X-wing. The pilot comes back dead, but he comes back with word of the super weapon, the Tarkin, which is basically the super laser. They call it an ionic cannon, which is kind of
it's basically a Death Star super laser in a different shell.
Yeah, think of the dark saber, but a lot bigger. It's full size super laser. So that eye part of the Death Star, basically. From
what I've heard, they were going to do a second Death Star, and then they were told, "We can't tell you why, but could you please not do that?" So they did this instead.
Yeah,
rip.
This is a little bit unfortunate because they end up using the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi. But
this is actually phase 1 of the Death Star 2, and it's making sure it all works properly. That's what this is, guys. It's
you have the Death Star prototype, and then you have all these extra little test beds. I guess there's no problem with this. If they have the super laser technology, so what's the problem just building this? But I
can almost guarantee that Star Wars Insider or something has done something with the Tarkin later.
So there's a funny thing in one of the adventure journals where there's sort of it's not canon, it's not meant to be canon, but it's tongue-in-cheek, it's supposed to be funny. I think Pablo Hidalgo might have even wrote it, where there's this super weapon store. It's like Acme super weapons that you can buy that the Empire uses to create all their stuff. You have the Sun Crusher, you have the World Devastators, you have all this stuff, and the Tarkin is mentioned, which is unusual because at that particular point in the continuity, the Marvel series was not necessarily canon, or at least not all of them.
One thing I do like, though, if you take all of the canon into account, Palpatine likes to make all these different things. I mean, he also has the Eye of Palpatine, which we'll get to later, and all these other things, all these different super weapons and middling, And our heroes throughout this comic and throughout the Bantam era systematically destroy all of them. And, Empire is evil, absolutely. Same time, all of this stuff is stuff that probably kept the Vong away for so long. And our heroes systematically destroy all of them instead of keeping it for themselves. So
I think they do mention that like in the New Jedi Order, they're like, yeah, we could have used these super weapons. Anyway,
for a Sun Crusher right now.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, after the pilot kind of brings back
I like this scene here with them catching the X-wing with the magnetic grapples.
Yeah,
and surgically shooting the engines so that they can haul it in.
Mm-hmm. Could have went badly, I guess, but
I think it's neat.
It is pretty neat. I cannot deny.
I also think so David Michelinie is my favorite of maybe after Alan Moore, my favorite of the comic writers we've had so far.
Hmm.
It's we're still not quite in the era of, words and the art working together harmoniously, but it's much closer than it was. And also, I'd forgotten how funny he can be at times.
Yeah, especially with the Imperial commanders. I think Vader sends one to just walk out the airlock. In another one, a couple issues later, he makes one wear a party hat or something as a joke. It's kind of silly, but it's fun. Anyway, so
Leia's looking for a new base.
Yeah, we have this.
They need one after losing Hoth and after losing Golrath. And
so Golrath, I guess they just abandoned because they figure, well, the House of Tag knows about it, and one thing we didn't mention,
and they can't really afford to assume that she didn't tell anyone, or that she might not tell the Empire if she ends up in their hands.
True. It's true.
She probably would.
Man, that slippery bastard.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what these creatures, they remind me of something from episode 1 on Tatooine.
Oh, those thingies that the Gungans ride on
they remind me of the stuff on Naboo, really.
Yeah, little guys that they ride.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's a Gundark that appears here that doesn't look like a Gundark, and then 2 of those animals get their tongues tied after they try to eat Leia. Kind of silly.
Well, Leia's a very attractive woman.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious.
The fact that they both like shoot their tongues at her and then they get tied in a knot.
I think that was definitely on purpose. That's actually hilarious. I like that.
And she uses 3PO as bait.
Rude.
Right. Yeah.
That new Anaconda movie stole from this comic. But instead of C-3PO, it's Jack Black.
This ship design, it looks vaguely... I don't know, it reminds me of something. Don't know what.
Halo. The Ghosts.
Yeah. Leia's looking for a new base. Luke's looking for a new base. And neither of them are successful. The planetoid that Luke's on turns out to
have the Empire on it. There's Imperial walkers there.
Yeah.
Which is how we get the scene from the cover there. Nice to see
ATs.
Oh, look. AT-ATs. Remember them from the film?
Sure did.
Wait a second. Didn't those guys appeared in episode 5?
So there's one scene that has a AT-ST. I'm not sure if it's from the special edition or not, but they at least had one model. They may have not got it working for the actual Empire Strikes Back original feature, but they put it in.
I don't remember these guys from Return of the Jedi. What do you mean?
I have the despecialized editions, and you can't see them.
Oh, you can't see them. Okay,
in the foreground.
Okay.
Yeah,
but this has been the first time we see them walking. Then I don't think we see them operational until Return of the Jedi.
So Luke,
no, they're on Hoth.
They're on Hoth?
Luke
Blizzard Force.
Yeah.
Luke emerging from the mud like this. This reminds me of. Well, actually, now it reminds me of Scooby-Doo because Al's here. But also, it reminds me of what the Tuskens do. How they burst out of the sand. In, for example, Knights of the Old Republic. Yes.
Yes.
And Obi-Wan does that in Old Wounds.
Yes.
In the comic in Visionaries where he fights Darth Maul.
Yeah. Which I still count as the true end to Darth Maul. If we have to count TCW, then that is the way it ends.
We don't, though. We don't have to do.
We do, kind of.
No, we don't.
Well,
we don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time for this fight.
Yeah.
We have to keep going.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta keep going.
as Logan will tell you, Abel Pena considers that the true end of the character. But anyway.
Okay. Abel Pena is not right 100% of the time.
But I like that we... it's always struck me as weird how we almost never see someone take a lightsaber and use it to slice through the leg of a walker. I mean, with an AT-AT is not really feasible, but with an AT-ST, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah, I think this is drawn a little bit smaller than it actually is. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they should be
real
a little
one should be
bigger.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried. They tried. It's
The scaling is not
Lego
quite
Star Wars
there.
size.
Yeah.
Luke escapes. And I like this moment here. I don't think Lord Vader is going to like this, sir. Corporal, if you value what's left of your career, just drive.
Just keep going.
a little bit silly. And then we see Lando, and Lando's chasing this slug who apparently has info on where Boba Fett is. But they too get interrupted. Like I like it. He's almost like a pod racer character or something.
He looks like a prequel character.
I like the,
that is it.
Yeah,
I like the alien dialogue here with the alien bubble and the translation here. Nice.
Yeah.
I try to be civil, and all I get to thank you, and that it'd make a Corona sailor blush.
Corona? Alcohol?
Wasting away again in Star Wars Revitaville.
His name's Shem Learn. So, yeah.
I like he kind of looks like an owl if he was like a booger.
He's also able to drive a starship, which is kind of funny.
Looks like an owl if you were a booger is up there with my... I can't remember what it was that prompted this, but when Al did something that I said sounded like Meowth as an old man.
Mm.
Oh, I remember when he made that comment. I don't remember what you sounded like then,
I
but
don't remember either, to be honest, but that's all right.
remember that comment. Anyway, moving on. But
All right, we got to stay focused here.
Yes.
So
yes,
move on.
for the boogers.
Yeah. So Lando gets a transmission telling him to go back, and unfortunately, they lost their one link of where Boba Fett was, at least for a while, leaving behind the mournful wail of a Wookiee denied. So Chewie doesn't want to give up the search for Han, but there's a super weapon that they have to go infiltrate. So we got to move on. We got a lot to cover.
So fair.
As I said when we were covering The Empire Strikes Back, sad Chewbacca makes me sad.
Mm.
It's like seeing the dog like, oh no.
Meanwhile, my cat, she wants to jump up here, but she won't do it. Come here.
Lazy bastard.
Okay, so we're back at the Rebel fleet where Riken is giving them the lowdown on the Tarkin super weapon. They explain that some people have to infiltrate it to sabotage it before it destroys any planets. And because Luke, Leia, and the droids have been on the original Death Star, and I guess this bears some resemblance to the Death Star, that they should be the ones to infiltrate it. Here we get that scene where this Imperial commander reports the bad news to Vader and walks out the airlock.
The executor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
You seem distraught, Major. Perhaps a long walk in some fresh air would help clear your mind. And then I think he chokes him right after that.
No, he just makes him walk out the airlock.
Yes.
That would have been funnier if he made a joke.
Lord Vader.
My instruments indicate that an exterior airlock has just opened and closed of its own volition. How curious. A faulty mechanism.
Before I die by Vader, if he said something like that to me, I'd be like, well, at least I can get fresh air.
You know what? I know we were just dunking on how Vader's written. That's a good Vader scene, I would say.
Yes.
I thought so.
I like it.
I think that's a better Vader moment for sure. I think we can get a lot of better Vader moments moving forward.
We do, and some of them are humorous like this. So,
Hey, remember,
Very
this
well.
is still Anakin.
Well,
Now,
it's
for
and it's
all the
not
faults,
it's dark humor too. It's like apology accepted, Captain Nita.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
done.
But it's like a dark version of Anakin, because Anakin was kind of funny sometimes when he wasn't being all depressed and emo. He was
as
pretty
long as it
funny.
wasn't episode 2, Anakin was funny, and
Yeah,
Also, I like the addition of this. They after what he did in The Empire Strikes Back, they don't quite trust Lando yet.
right,
Which-
Leia. It seems a little bit out of character because they've been on
He's-
submissions, but yeah, I guess it makes sense that the original crew that's been on the Death Star should infiltrate it. But Lando decides to go along on his own volition, so he sneaks aboard the Falcon.
I dealt with
in
the mind harm of Sharu. I can handle
Yeah.
it.
in the smuggling compartment. So the idea is there's some worker positions that are open on the Tarkin, and it's on this planet. So they use the ship to go land on the planet and then take the job to work on the Tarkin super weapon.
I like this bit here. You may have had no choice when you turned Solo over to the Empire, but Han had a lot of friends here, and I'm afraid friends don't forget easily. And Lando thinking, maybe not, General, but neither do I. So, yes, he does feel bad about it, but what happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why he
It's kinda like his
sneaks
whole
aboard.
reason
And,
for sticking around.
yes.
He feels
Yeah.
obligated to get Han back.
So they get to the
Also-
planet.
Also, it's a very tiny detail, but I like the this additional character facet we learn about C-3PO here. Oh, why did I ever leave the diplomatic service? All this adventure.
would he remember the diplomatic service?
He
Probably
hates
not.
doing anything.
Depends
Bro
on
really is-
when it happened.
Anyway,
So,
So Leia gets hit on by the workers there.
Men.
Yeah, men.
so the planet's called
typical.
Hockaleg.
I really thought you were about to say Hawkatu, and I was about to just
Do a
off
do
the
that thing.
talk about years out of date. Oh God, keep going. Continue. Don't let we can't do it. We can't let this.
No.
Can't let that specifically get us off track.
Wait a second. Wait. We're gonna keep
And,
going.
I shouldn't have said anything.
So
and Luke, for some reason, thinks it's a good idea to for Leia to use her feminine wiles, as he puts it, and this doesn't go well. And they decide, wow, why did we think that was a good idea?
Why?
Yeah.
do you-
Talk to it.
Why didn't we just go with punching them unconscious? That seemed to work.
I mean, this is kind of mean. Leia just led this guy on, and he responds exactly how she would expect, and then punches him in the face. It's just, I don't know,
Yeah. That's,
Well, he's
yeah.
a bit creepy about it.
a little bit, but she was very.
This is a dumb plan.
Yeah.
Nobody involved in this plan should have made this decision.
Chewie
can't-
grabs him, gets thrown out of his boots. Kind of silly. But yeah, it's a dumb plan. I agree.
It's a comic book plan.
They're not. I mean, this group is not known for their genius plans. Their genius plan to get out of the Death Star was
Especially not Luke.
no.
Garbage?
That wasn't even
That's
their
how
plan.
you-
Their plan was just
Yeah, they literally just jumped into something not knowing where it went. It's kind of crazy.
And we get
Yeah.
a moment here with Luke using a mind trick on the stormtrooper.
that's nice.
Except now they're all like 21 or 22 here. Minus Lando, who's like 30.
Old
Because him and
man.
Han are around the same age.
And I like the this moment of 3PO going, yes, he is getting better.
Right. Just in case you weren't aware, the reader wasn't aware that he used the mind trick there.
And this is a really nice page.
Yes, this is probably one of the best pieces of artwork so far in the Marvel run. Maybe
I think so. It may be so far the best we've seen.
And
It's really close.
the way it leads in with a roar of rockets and the whisper of displaced air, the Imperial shuttle soars skyward, moving out to a predetermined orbit to the dry dock construction site of the Tarkin. That is how you use a page turn.
right.
Love it.
And I think that Star Destroyer
Also-
at the top right, I think that's been retconned to be an Eclipse class Star Destroyer because it's kind of way bigger than an Imperial class Star Destroyer.
Also,
Yeah.
cyclopean, Joe's favorite word.
Cyclopean.
Yes.
It's like constructed by the site, like built at a scale of the cycle of the
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really, really big.
cyclope, I think is the correct plural.
I'm assuming the Super Star Destroyer in the bottom right is Darth Vader's executor because he is presumably in the system, but it's
I would
interesting to
assume
know.
so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they're sneaking
That-
around.
That was crazy.
They each have specified missions of what they need to sabotage aboard the ship. Like one of them's going to take out the tractor beam. Leia is actually going to disable the super laser itself.
So I really like Walt Simonson's art on this issue, but the one thing that bugged me was this, whatever this is.
Yeah, the helmet doesn't do her any
It
favors.
doesn't bug you that face that Chewie's making?
He's getting
I
old.
think that's hilarious.
That's
It's
that's
worse
the
than
response
another
to I don't care what you smell right there. That's him. That's him smelling something.
So they walk around trying to get their bearings.
We get another good Vader moment here. Lord Vader, I'm not sure that I heard you correctly. Did you say to remove all security personnel from the area of the main power reactors? I did. And he's just standing there watching them.
Yep.
For I sense a presence that I've scoured the galaxy to find. A presence that now comes to me. And if you, Captain Vole, will do as you're told, I shall endeavor to make his last steps easier. So that soon, by his own actions, Luke Skywalker will be mine.
But Captain Vole is out to get Vader because there's another plot of the Imperial officers to kill Vader. They don't like his force power. They don't like how he's sending people to walk out the airlock on the starship. And it's kind of weird how they're
That's
all like
honestly a reasonable
holding
response.
hands. It's like they're in prayer or something. I don't know. I don't know
Before
what
this
they're
thing is over, Darth Vader must die.
You're gonna mock his force abilities, but then pray. Come on, guys.
It's just kind of
It's-
weird
It is-
the way they're
It's a-
holding hands.
Why are they holding hands? But I think it is a logical step for them to like, hey, they
Yes,
keep
well,
killing our friends. We should probably kill that guy or try.
Yes.
But the holding hands thing is quite silly, I have to say.
And
I don't know what that's all about.
yes, it is true. Vader has killed a fair number of Imperial officers for making mistakes, but some of them were probably idiots who got in because they had relatives in positions of authority or
Isn't that
something.
specifically
Nepotism.
Ozzel? Isn't that like Ozzel was specifically kind of an incompetent like nepo baby who got promoted?
Well,
That was the impression that I got.
Yeah, I think his point is like people make mistakes. People make
Yes.
human mistakes. They shouldn't be made to be executed for their
Yeah.
failure.
Yes. Or
To take
go for
the
a walk
target.
outside.
Or wear
But,
a party hat.
Al, do you know what this reminds me of? Justice League. Hereafter, Part 1.
Is that where Superman dies?
Yes.
Dies.
When it begins with that scene of all the Superman villains.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yes. I remember the Superman Revenge Squad. I don't think they call them that, but that's what that's supposed to be.
Yes.
Yep. So this cover is very familiar. I think it's used on T-shirts or
Yes,
all
I've seen
sorts
this
of
cover
different
a lot.
things. Yeah.
It's
This
a
is
pretty
a
good
good
one.
cover. I gotta say, it kind of slaps.
Yeah.
So the first couple pages are like a recap. They go around shooting. Oh, Jim Shooter, The Force.
The Force. That's
They-
funny. This is the Force. All right. He is the Force, guys. It's not the midichlorians. Forget about it. It's Jim Shooter the whole time.
Well, now that he's dead, does that mean that the Force is over?
Maybe that's why Luke tried to end it in The Last Jedi.
Mm.
That the Force is female. Anyway,
Mm.
the
Okay, this is gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cinema, comica.
got the sun shining in the background. The Star Destroyers are to scale. We don't need to retcon any Eclipse class Star Destroyers anywhere here. So yeah, looks good.
The fact that you've got this great big giant thing here and a Star Destroyer right next to it, it gives a really good sense of scale.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Really does.
And think how much bigger the Death Star was, because this is just the super laser portion.
Yeah, 'cause the Star Destroyers ended up being like, little tiny pinpricks of light going up next to the Death Star. That's awesome.
You get a little intro on the bottom right there of all the
Poor
characters that
C-3PO, he gets to be behind the panel border.
yeah.
Frick C-3PO. Where's R2-D2 dancing like he's gonna do in his show? I want that. Bring it back.
R2D2, the spunky droid who even now whistles in curious anticipation of what they'll find around each new corner. We got Leia still wearing that goofy hat, but anyway.
It looks like it reminds me of a frog or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I guess they're headlights, or I don't know what they're supposed to be. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Headlights to see in the dark. I guess.
So I like the Stormtroopers guns there. They get ray guns that are very
Oh, I think that's a
ridiculous.
scanner or something.
Maybe.
Because he says, I'm picking up an energy reading. Looks like a proton grenade.
It's like a metal detector.
Yeah, I think so.
Leia says, I have our papers right here. Pulls out a blaster.
Sly
Shoot.
dog.
Yeah.
Not a great start. Having, blown the cover already.
Well, no matter the debate with Han, Leia most definitely shot first here.
So Leia turns
Where's
out to be
Mother
the hero. She's the one that destroys the Tarkin in the end.
Yes.
Not
Which
Luke.
is- yes, this is a bit personal for her because of, what happened with Alderaan.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
She
bit
gets a
personal,
chance
very
to
personal, extremely personal.
This
Sort
is
of
probably
event.
the most personal it could possibly be.
Yeah.
I
We
like
got
this
this
guy's
pizzeria guy captain over here, or whatever he is.
He looks
Yeah.
like overweight Tom Selleck. I don't like him.
And I
Tom
think-
Selleck.
With Vader, I think they're very much invoking him sensing Obi-Wan aboard the Death Star.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So Vader kind of just lets all this play out. He doesn't really care what's going to happen to the Tarkin. He doesn't care about this plot. He doesn't sense it. He's
All he
just
cares about is-
single-mindedly after going after Luke.
Yes. I think
So
he's a-
Anakin of him, even though
I think
he
he's
says
probably-
Anakin's fine.
I think he's aware of it and doesn't care. He's got other priorities. He'll handle it when he handles it.
Right.
And that's consistent because he's never cared about super weapons. He's never cared about really the Death Star at all. So why would he care about this? That's even lesser. So
Mm-hmm. You get a bit about.
It's nice to finally have Darth Vader that looks like himself.
he does properly look like movie him. They got the proper details to make it look right.
Mhm.
Doesn't look like his parody from freaking Spaceballs,
Right.
where he looks like sometimes in his own comics. But yeah, he's starting to look proper here. was just good.
And so
Yeah.
these Imperial officers, they decide, okay, he's distracted. He's focused on Luke. Now is the time to strike.
And then they
Lando-
hop two on that thing.
Lando climbs out of the spice bin.
And stormtroopers approach the Falcon. Lando has some story about he's bringing this spice thing, and he bribes some of the stormtroopers. I'm not sure if it's here on the next page, but it's like a reference to cocaine, I think.
Sweet.
He calls it narco spice or something.
Yes. I like this moment with these stormtroopers. Yeah, but why guard this trench? I don't know. Sometimes I think Nordy's got his head in a black hole.
Right. And one of them says, oh, he's hurting Burl or something. Like one of them names when Chewbacca shows up.
Hey, what's that droid doing in here? Beats me. I'll get rid of him. It just... I don't know. It feels like things that stormtroopers would say to each other when they've got nothing better to do. Like
right.
The NPC conversations in Jedi Outcast.
Right. So we can move on.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
the Wookiee. He's attacking Burl. That was kind of funny. It's like
So
we don't know.
Picks one of them up, hurls him into the thing, and destroys it. Which
That's pretty gruesome. That's pretty sick. I like that.
Was that the tractor beam or what was that?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. We'll see that that's a recurring theme. Like Chewbacca picks up the
That's quite
Yuuzhan Vong thing and throws it against the crystal in the next issue.
Right.
He's really good at throwing things.
Yeah.
There's one thing that Chewie can always hold to his name is he can throw things really well.
Hey, there's worse things to be good at.
We get some noise effects, foam,
throws them all around in a good way.
Yeah, we got some nice Marvel onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Fram.
I'm not sure if that's what blasters sound like, but close enough. Close enough.
Oh.
And it makes it seem like Leia got caught, like she had to blast her way out of there and didn't fulfill her mission, but she actually does. She actually disables the super laser there.
I like this panel here of the map and the dots.
Yes, it's a good way to give us an idea where everybody is.
So the officers see that there's this guy in the corridor, Luke, and they're like, "Whoever you are, we're sorry, but we got to open the airlock to get Vader out of here. So you're just kind of collateral damage." But it's kind of funny that they feel bad about how Luke has to die there.
Yeah,
they're not completely deranged.
Yeah, you're polite.
They're just trying to earn a paycheck. Those ones specifically.
I guess they think he's still one of the crew, right? Like whoever.
Yeah, I don't think they know that I think they think it's just another one of their crew members.
Yeah. So Luke's bionic hand saves them. The strength
and Vader's.
Yeah.
Lucky that.
Yeah, this is cool. I like that Vader nearly gets pulled out, because vacuum of space, and then he pulls himself back in with the Force, and yes.
Pretty baller.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
So Vader was so close to getting to Luke there, but not quite.
Yes.
And they missed. When you go for the king, you gotta kill him. So now the Imperials are a little upset now that they missed.
I shall deal with you later.
He killed them before. He's only going to slaughter them now.
Right.
Yes. So he knows exactly who was responsible. He probably knew before that they were going to attempt this, and just decided, I'll
let it play out for the time being, right?
Yes.
And then we move on to Leia, where she disables the super laser, the ionic cannon.
Yes. And she recognizes this because there's
a chance to redeem herself for Alderaan getting destroyed.
Yes. That's our comlink, Chewbacca. Perhaps you'd better hand it to me. My diction is a bit clearer than yours.
Yeah, so 3PO asked, was she successful? And she says, afraid not, 3PO. So it makes you think that like she didn't do what she was supposed to do. But she did in the end. Well, I don't know why she says afraid not.
She says, I do have an alternate plan.
Oh, okay. Well, they get back to the docking bay, and then they move on to Lando, or there's some more gunfights there.
Yep.
There's a spray foam. R2 closes the door, and the sensor retardant, the flame retardant foam.
What? R2 really pulls his own weight.
Sort of stuff like that, doesn't he? Episode 3 just puts like oil on the droids.
Yeah,
you
saw this in the Han Solo trilogy as well, I think.
R2 always the one deploying foam, deploying smoke, using a buzzsaw to cut their way out of a net.
Right, yeah.
He's always the most useful.
Yes. Controlling the lifts.
Still different. This guy. Been thugging it out since episode 1, up on top of the ship when all of his other compatriots were exploding.
So this is the part I was talking about earlier. So he says, I have this contraband, this 2 kilos
I better turn over my contraband.
Right. 2 kilos of Garindan narco spice.
Narcos?
Narco spice, yeah.
That much sniff could make a man rich for life, if you know what I mean.
Jeez. That much sniff.
That's
hint. I see. Actually, your ship doesn't look at all like the one we're after. Sorry to have bothered you.
I like that characterization for Lando. I think that's sick. That's awesome.
I think that works.
It's perfect.
Now, Luke, he's lost the grenade that they were going to use to blow the thing up.
Right. So they tie 2 comlinks together and pretend that it's a grenade, and the Imperials run away because they think it is a grenade. They find out it's not, but by the time they find that out, they're already aboard the ship.
I like this. We'd better be far away when they discover that thermocharger's just 2 comlinks tied together. And down here, hey, this thermocharger's just 2 comlinks tied together. I hate when this happens to me.
Yeah, they're like the battle droids in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why?
Yes.
That was actually funny. The first time I saw that, I'll give it to that one.
Yeah.
So I'll give Filoni that 1 point.
I miss not to be mean to the voice actor, but I miss the Phantom Menace droid voice.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Roger. Hold.
But yeah, this reminds me of the trench run with Luke Han coming in and saving Luke.
Ciao.
Vader says, "Oh, you only send 2." What does he say? 2 TIE fighters should be enough. That ship doesn't have any weapons or something. And then the Falcon comes in, shoots the TIE fighters. So Vader goes out in his TIE Advance to take care of it personally. The Falcon jettisons its water supply and it turns to ice.
Which is Luke's plan.
Right. And Vader crashes, and Vader thinks to himself, "Oh, well done, Skywalker. I can't stop in time, so I'm going to crash."
That's my boy.
Yep, that's my boy.
It's a little baby boy. I can't hate the game.
Yeah,
got me there.
he bested me here. So he survives. They find out like Vader. There's still a life reading, but
Yes.
I don't know how he gets out there. He's just floating in space, I guess.
Life finds a way.
So Colonel Nord decides, okay, we're just going to use the ionic cannon to destroy the rebels, and that way we can get Vader as well, and
Right.
you know, two birds with one stone.
Makes
And so
sense to
they
me.
try to, and they try to fire the thing, and this happens.
Right.
Pretty awesome shot. Cannot deny.
Yes. And they explains how she sabotaged the thing. And admittedly, there's some Marvel logic going on here. I remember the schematics R2 brought us of the original Death Star, so I was able to switch a couple of wires to reverse the polarity modes of the cannon's fire controls, so that when it was activated, the cannon, in essence, shot itself.
That's way too much detail necessary.
No, it's not
Which-
necessary at all.
Reversing the polarity, that's not a thing. That's a phrase that's used in, I don't know, Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's not an ionic cannon to begin with. Ion cannons in Star Wars disable electronics, but don't destroy planets.
No.
Yeah, but this was pre that.
Right.
No,
but
that's
I think
that's
they
an
knew.
Empire.
Yeah, they knew what super lasers were.
Yeah.
By that
Yeah.
point. Anyway. Yeah, Vader just floating in space, so I don't know how he survives. I think there is an expanded universe tale that
There
We're-
is.
we're-
There is.
yeah.
It's a short story, and I don't remember. It's from the Insider somewhere, but it's included in the first volume of the Insider collection from.
Right, the Titan
years
collection. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do we think of David Michelinie's opening arc?
I liked it. Overall, I think it was pretty decent. I like the plot against Vader. We're starting to kind of do things outside of the main like gang. We're seeing like, oh, the Imperials are like plotting against Vader. That's fun. I love the title, To Take the Tarkin. That just feels
Yes.
good to say.
Right. Yep.
I think there's more flow to the way that his issues are constructed. You know, each scene sort of flows into the next in a way that I wasn't feeling before.
There's a plan to it. It's not just like we need to fill set number of pages. I do like it. It's a little bit unfortunate in lieu of the second Death Star occurring later on. I like the story. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense at this point in the timeline when you consider everything that happens later.
Yeah.
Now, next-
You'd have to do some serious work to make this like flow, in my opinion.
I
Yeah.
think they have. I think they've done the work. Yeah.
I don't think the
Later,
Tarkin
they're
is
not now.
mentioned. Well, granted, things like the Dark Saber aren't mentioned very often, or the Death Star prototype, so maybe. But to jumble this in at the point where they should be searching for Han seems a little bit sus to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, last gift from Alderaan, issue
Yes,
53.
We've got 2 issues by Chris Claremont.
And
Who
these
else?
were, well, at least they feature artwork from John Carter of Mars, which was going to be released by Marvel, but I guess they canceled it. They at
believe
least
that's
salvaged some of the artwork from it, and figured, hey, we'll just tie it into a Star Wars story. So
Penciled
what?
by,
Sorry, go
penciled by Carmen Infantino and Walt Simonson. I don't know where or who did which pages. I'm fairly certain this opening page is Walt Simonson.
Why is
That
Leia
looks right to
walking
me.
something like her mother?
Since we're running a little bit out of time, and
Yeah.
since Robert, you like 55, I say we save 55 for next time, and then just
Yeah.
super speed these issues. Kind of let's jettison.
Yeah,
Do
I think
a
we
very
can do
basic synopsis here.
Yeah.
And get these in the bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, giant stormtrooper on the cover. What we got going on here is Leia's aboard this rebel ship, and she's contemplating Alderaan and the events of, the destruction of that, the unfortunate events. There's a fire aboard the ship, and she jettisons herself in like an escape pod to save the ship, and lands on this planet that is not really connected to the rest of the galaxy. They're like He-Man characters. They speak another language.
I think they're probably somewhere in wild space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's a safe bet.
So we get some flashbacks here. We could kind of skip this. This is
I do like this moment here where she's thinking, "Oh, Father, did you know what was coming when your scanner sighted the Death Star? A command, a touch of a button, and Alderaan was no more. It was night in our palace. Were you awake or asleep, with Mother or alone? When the end came, did you know it was my fault?"
Thank you, comics, for doing what the movies didn't do for Luke or Leia in terms of mourning their family.
Yeah, the prose in this is very good. The thought bubbles, the narration is very well written. I'm not sure how much I like the story, but it's definitely better than the first time I read it. It's not as weird. So
I don't dislike the story. I dislike the way it's done. I think I found it to be overwritten. It's
a little bit.
It's a lot of narration and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. You don't necessarily need to read all of it. Like it over explains what's going on a little bit. It is written very well, but and then when they get to this planet, so Leia jettisons the escape pod, whatever you call it. The rest, the ship gets away, like the fire is extinguished, but she crashes on this planet, and she's sort of waiting for the rebels to save her, to get her off the planet and back home, back to the rebel fleet. But the characters in this on this planet are very weird. There's raiders,
the bear guy.
The bear guy is really wild. I'll talk more about him later. But so there's this raid. Leia gets attacked, and this one character, his name's Long Knife. I guess this is supposed to be John Carter before they change it to a Star Wars story. But
I only know based off of the Disney movie they made. But
Carol Long Knife, who turns out to be a bad guy, and
Aaron Peacebringer.
Aaron Peacebringer, yes.
Wow, what a name.
Who is basically John Carter.
Right. And they save Leia from this raid. They battle with swords, but they do have some technology, like they have ships on the planet, but they don't really wear clothes, or very minimal clothes.
Yes.
They have blasters.
They don't understand each other's languages at the moment.
They got horses. Look at that. Yeah. Cavalry charge. And here's the point where Leia doesn't understand their language, but she eventually says her name and a few words, and because of the length of time she ends up staying on the planet, she ends up learning the language and learns about what's going on the planet. So there's this concordance. There used to be a lot of fighting on this planet, but this is an era of peace. The tribes have sort of been united under Aaron Peacebringer there. I guess hence his name.
Their language is completely unknown to my translator comp. It'll be a while before it can sort through enough to enable me to talk to them.
Right. So we can move forward a little bit here.
Yeah. So they find one of the cities destroyed with blue flame, and here it mentions the Cherenkov effect. That is a real thing.
Yep.
If,
Cherenkov is a Soviet physicist or something.
Yes.
I didn't know
But they
had the Soviet Union back then.
well, I didn't know it was in Star Wars. This is like John Carter, Star Wars / real life.
Awesome.
But they talk about antimatter and
Carol Longknife is working with the Empire.
right.
And,
So
yes,
Leia tells him that there's this empire out there, and they don't really believe it because they've just ushered in peace on the planet, and Aaron's there talking with his wife. There's this weird scene where his wife comes up to him and like puts her eyes over his and says like, "Guess who?" And he answers by saying it's the bear guy, and I recognize the bear guy by his perfume. Seems I don't know if he's kidding around there, but that
joking.
seemed. Oh, okay. It seemed a little weird there. Well, with that voice, with that perfume, Carol Longknife, and then she slaps him, which I thought is she playing around there or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
And they have this alligator thing. It's really weird. Pet alligator or dragon. I'm not sure.
John Carter, man, wacky space opera stuff going on.
Right. This kind of reminds me of Tales of the Jedi a little bit.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure.
He's
the headdress.
He's developed something for Leia at this point, which is
Damn, he's just got the towel. That's
the alligator thing is sizing him up there.
oh, he's got the towel with the alligator next to him. He's living on the edge, man.
He's not afraid of anything.
And his wife
is right next to this thing. I'm not afraid.
His wife has the Queen Amidala boots for some reason.
Yeah, she does.
Wonder Woman boots.
Wonder Woman. She's got like a weird headdress too. Yeah, this is yeah, these issues are a little bit bizarre.
A little bit bizarre, but Aaron gets a thing for Leia, so
he's also go back to looking like the previous issues. Like it's kind of going backward.
Leia feels like lonely. She feels like she's never gonna get saved by the rebellion. She feels like she's gonna have to spend the rest of her life on this planet because maybe she's not sure the ship has escaped and got to its destination to alert somebody to go find her. But she ends up making a place for herself within the society, and they have a gala or a dance there where she gets kidnapped by the Empire. There's this one guy, Longknife. He ends up working for the Empire, like Robert said.
Maybe this is just a fever dream.
And so his wife, she notices that he's developed feelings for Leia.
Feelings for Leia, yeah.
And she doesn't make him feel bad about it, but she says, "Okay, feeling this way, that's okay, but don't go and do anything stupid because of it. All right."
Right. Yep.
And she puts it more nicely than that, but
right. And his second in command tries to dance with Leia. Leia like shoves him off at the end of the night there. She runs away. And then Aaron goes to see her. She talks about Alderaan, the fact that she's homesick, starts crying, and tries to console her, makes her feel a little bit better. And then at that point, the Empire comes and captures them.
Survivor's guilt, that's the term for this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still thinking about Alderaan, her home planet, the rebellion, and probably Han, although she doesn't mention Han at all.
Yeah.
So then the we get a scene similar to the cover where you have this. it's not a TIE bomber, it's an Imperial troop transport. They let down this ladder thing and capture them. They're not giant stormtroopers, by the way. They just look giant based on the cover.
Well, she says enormous stormtroopers.
Well, maybe they're space troopers. I don't know. More armor.
Good man.
They're just really tall guys.
And then the stormtroopers are led by this alien general who's a Kalish, General Grievous species. He's named Scar.
Scar. I remember Scar. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And Scar, the Empire is here because this planet, before they had this peace concordance, they were all very fierce warriors. And the Empire wants to get these people into their military.
A guy called Scar trying to kill the king. Where have we seen that before?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is a few years early. No.
Yes.
No.
I know.
No Starfire Rising. Get back in the get out of here. Get rid of it. Hate it.
Don't like Starfire?
No, I like Starfire, okay. But then I saw that. I was like, no, stop. I don't want to go back. You can't make me go back. I'm not going.
Is there an issue called
But
Starfire Rising?
But
It says
Meander
right there.
needs her to go and marry that guy.
No, I meant in DC.
No, it's I read so much New Teen Titans last year. If I think about that series one more time, I'm gonna go into a frenzy.
Oh, Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
On NBC.
Oh yeah, on NBC. I watched that show back in the day.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah, I know. I keep getting reminded.
I say as you're significantly younger than I am.
Yeah, you know, if I'm old, I guess you're an ancient.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So
we got this big creature trying to kill John Carter.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was kind of weird to see an Imperial that's an alien, but reading this for the second time, it's kind of fitting of the story. Like I really don't think it's that weird. It's just you can't help but think, how long is Leia on this planet? Like how long does this take place?
Shiva 4, that's the name of this planet.
Yeah. And
Mars.
so Dolores is the traitor working for the Empire. That's how they kind of get the jump on these guys and capture them. So they're sent to the cell prison. They bust out pretty easily.
I like this moment here that alludes to her being tortured in A New Hope, which happened off screen, but still it happened.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get mentions of it quite a few times.
Yeah, she's like, I survived far worse. Oh.
There's such grief and pain in her voice. What was done to her so long ago?
He says, I am a realist, Aaron.
And also, I want your wife.
And so they have this starship that Scar visited the planet for. It's not a Star Destroyer. It's like I don't know. What do you call that?
They plan to destroy the city with an antimatter bomb.
Right.
Luckily, it's not a thought bomb. Or
Mhm.
Bane would be asking for copyright claims.
So they bust out of their prison. It's kind of a neat shot of Scar there. Mess with some stormtroopers there. One guy tries to stab Leia. Leia grabs the knife and stabs him in the heart, and she's kind of like upset by the situation. She was like, I've killed people, but not like that.
I mean, stabbing somebody's a lot different than shooting them, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more personal. Like Joker said, you can't savor all the little emotions.
They fly off in this Batmobile thing.
There's a lot of DC connections in this book.
And shoot down some TIE fighters. And then Luke Skywalker appears with Han,
Well, she-
or not Han, but Lando and
She
Chewbacca.
mentions Luke to him, and he immediately goes, "Yep, I hate him."
Same.
But
Leia
we
spoke
see
Skywalker's name with a soft, almost unconscious caress. She obviously cared for him a great deal. I hated him.
Stop it! Stop caring about him.
About her brother.
Yeah.
we
Yes.
get
Whoa,
some
somebody threw that shot.
fan service there.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody took the time. Didn't have to.
Anyway,
It's like jiggle physics in a video game. It's like somebody took the time to do that. You didn't have to do that.
So
PG-16.
Leia has to disarm the antimatter bomb,
right.
and she gets stabbed a bit.
She gets her arm cut a little bit, but it's not too bad. Luke saves her, and then Lando and Chewbacca show up.
What is he wearing? What are those brown? What are those blue pants?
I like how the bear guy and Chewbacca are friends. They show up together.
Of course.
Yes. Also, they don't explain how they're able to. So we know how Leia's able to communicate with them, but we don't know how Luke, Han, and Chewie are.
Yeah, I guess they forgot that by that point. I
But,
don't see C-3PO with them to translate. But
Leia's bleeding and still has to disarm the thing.
And then Lando tries to shoot Scar. It doesn't work because he's so big, like a blasters, or he's impervious to blasters. He runs away, gets on the ship, and then Chewbacca, known for throwing stuff, he throws this piece of metal at the ship, and I guess it's antimatter or whatever, but destroys Scar's
away.
ship.
What are we, General Grievous?
Pretty much. I mean, that's what Kalish do.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that throw from Chewbacca. That's a real. Yeah. That's a real.
So he throws this piece of metal at the ship and just explodes.
Yes, Chewbacca's really good at throwing things in these issues.
He's the bullseye of Star Wars.
He should have gotten to the Olympics.
That would have been sick.
We're gonna slam dunk for this man.
The slam dunk is more like you guided into the.
I know. I didn't mean it like that.
This part of the issue, it seems like they're done. So Scar's dead. They're reunited. Like Leia's gonna go home with Luke and Lando, but then there's the Star Destroyer that shows up.
This is a bit of a wonky Luke.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I don't know what's going on here with Luke. It looks like he's from the Wonder Years or something.
He needs a haircut.
It's the 60s, man.
So it's almost like they had to tack on a page or two. So Lando gets all the girls' attention on the planet.
Oh, hell yeah, Lando. Let's go.
I don't know if this is true. This could have been a story that was going to be 17 pages back when they were still working with 17 pages, but then got extended to 22. I have no idea if that's right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, a Star Destroyer shows up, and they go and
C-3PO on the panel.
Okay. This is unintentionally funny because she's wearing this, and she says, "Lady Alyssand, Aaron's wife, gave me this war cloak. It was originally meant for their daughter to be worn by her in battle."
War cloak.
Yes.
Got it. Sure.
That's not even a cloak.
That's just like a boa.
That's like as much a cloak as my toothbrush is a dagger.
Yeah. Anyway, there's this black hole. They're trapped between the Star Destroyer and black hole. And Luke gets aboard the controls of the Falcon, uses the Force, maneuvers the Falcon around the black hole so that the Star Destroyer gets sucked in and they get away.
You get sucked
Okay,
out.
I'm not a huge fan of these two issues, but this scene I do quite like.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick. The rest of the issue, however, kind of not fantastic. Kind of a downer, actually. After we just had,
I
want to suck the
I
joy out of what we just had.
I struggled with these two issues. I had to tackle it a couple of pages at a time.
Yeah,
It's
that's like me with Wheel of Time. Still on book 5. I was on book 4 last year during the summer.
Woof.
Can't do it.
I think of the Chris Claremont stories we've had, I think this might be my least favorite.
I think I agree.
I don't think there was a way
X-Men. What
that
is
this
this?
story was going to be very good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not bad. I'll say that it's not terrible, but starting out as a John Carter thing and becoming Star Wars, that's setting it up for
it's
failure.
never gonna work.
I think for what we did get, they did the best they probably could have, but it's just it's not
I think it's very overwritten. I don't think it makes very good use of the comics medium, and I also take issue with the fact that it's sort of trying to be a Leia story, but it isn't really about Leia. It's about Aaron Peacebringer. Everything is, from his perspective.
That's true. I don't think it's as bad as the initial time I read it. I enjoyed it better the second time. It is overwritten, 100%. It's unfortunate, again, similar to the Tarkin. It's unfortunate that it's placed at this point in the timeline. If Lando was not in this story, as I said earlier, you could place it between Star Wars: A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. I think it would work a lot better. It's
really only Lando that prohibits that from happening.
Right. Yeah.
So, because then it's like, well, it has to be after episode 5. Can be no earlier because Lando's there.
Oh,
it's
I do want to add, I like this moment here with Luke, where he's just exhausted from, navigating the periphery of a black hole, and the Imperials all died.
Lando's gloating, and then Leia says, like, we shouldn't be upset, or we shouldn't gloat that the Imperials all died, because it's a lot of men. That
yes, and Luke says, the crew of the Star Destroyer, I felt them die, a moment of supreme terror, pain, then an awful, all-consuming nothingness. They were my enemies, yet I grieve for them.
That's pretty good. I do love Chris Claremont. He is a favorite of mine. I love his X-Men. But
he also wrote a Willow trilogy I still need to read.
He did. At some point, I will also read that. But that's
the Shadow War Chronicles trilogy, right?
Yes,
something like that.
I have them all. I bought them all after we went through Supernatural Encounters. I've just yet to pick it up and read it, but I have them all physically. So
That is fair.
Next issue, which we'll be covering next time.
Yeah, yes.
The Rebels search for a new base, only to discover Pliff. What's Pliff? Find out next month in Star Wars issue 55.
Oh my gosh, the Hoojibs, where Ahsoka fell over them and died, as Matt likes to say.
Right.
Matt's idea for the end of Ahsoka in the EU is that she trips over a Hoojib and dies, breaking her neck.
Well,
It's true.
I like to think of, well, Luke wanted Ahsoka to die in Order 66, and Dave Filoni didn't want that because there was more he wanted to do with her. So I think of, if she existed in the EU, which your mileage may vary on that, you could consider that as her ending.
I don't even hate the idea that Rebels went with, that she confronts Vader. I think that's like a neat thing to do. But then they keep her alive. That's the problem. Like, if you kill her off, great. That's emotionally, like, that works. It's like, here's somebody from Vader's past, try to redeem him, but if it's not his son, it's not a strong enough motivation for him to switch, right? It's like a parallel to Luke being the only one that could have done that, right? And maybe the story of his former Padawan being murdered by him further makes, like when Obi-Wan and Yoda eventually hear about that or feel that through the Force, they go, yeah, no, don't try to save your dad, because his like little sister essentially tried the same thing, got whacked. So don't do it. He's like, no, I believe in my father. Like, bro, you're stupid. Like, that actually makes more sense.
He is stupid. I'll give you that.
He is stupid.
I also don't necessarily mind Ahsoka's end in Rebels. I don't mind Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka's perfectly fine. But I won't take that cartoon. I won't have it.
Yeah.
I won't have a
The
frame
problem
of it.
is Fate of the Jedi exists.
I'll throw Fate of the Jedi out with it. I'll throw the whole thing out.
Well, then
Anyway, we gotta wrap up. We gotta wrap up.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep.
I'll just say one thing on Ahsoka. Rebels did end up using the same idea that Star Wars Visions had for the meeting between Vader and Ahsoka. There's at least a drawing of how they confront each other, and supposedly Vader would kill her. But anyway, that doesn't happen in Rebels.
Yeah. But yeah, next time, who jeeps?
I don't hate her. I just think she's played out.
She's fine.
Oh no, absolutely. She's overstayed her welcome for far too long. But
I don't have a strong opinion
yeah.
about Ahsoka, to be honest. I do have opinions on these issues, and it's that they're decent. They're all right, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of go down.
Yes.
So
I think the next
like the
issue,
Tarkin.
that is where David Michelinie's run finds its footing.
Yeah. But I think this is a step in the right direction for the Marvel series.
Yes.
I agree.
Scott, do you have any final thoughts?
Nothing other than what I've said before. I like all of these issues. I think it's just unfortunate that we're in such an era that's so jam-packed full of stuff, especially in this 1 year. I mean, a lot of Expanded Universe fans talk about how the era between A New Hope and Empire is so jam-packed. I think this is even more jam-packed, especially when you add in things like Shadows of the Empire from later on. So I like the stories. I just don't think in retrospect they fit very well here.
Yeah,
that's fair.
If you're a comic reader, you sort of have to not peer too closely at the timeline. Otherwise, it'll
Same thing with the Clone Wars, which we'll get to in a million years. But both of which will hurt your head trying to make that work.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
I think it's in either the Book of Sith or the Jedi Path when one of the notes says, yeah, the Clone Wars are confusing.
Yeah. Soka also writes in those. Anyway, we're going to head out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Sharing helps at a ton. Subscribe for more of the podcast. And next time, who jeeps? It's the rabbit. It's the rabbit things. You'll love it. Come by. Show up. And we'll see you then. Till then, live long and prosper.